Psalm 67. God be gracious to us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known on all the earth, your salvation among all nations. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. Let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For you will judge the peoples with uprightness and guide the nations on the earth. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. The earth has yielded its produce. God, our God, blesses us. God blesses us, that all the ends of the earth may fear him. Whoa. So, this is pretty sweeping in scope. This is a really beautifully full worldview that went into writing this short little psalm. Here's the thing. Israel has, throughout its history in the Old Testament and then even, in modern days, kind of been chastised by God in other parts of his word for being too Israel-centric, right? Like, okay, yeah, God is focused on you. God is the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And, ethnic Israel does have a special place in the history and in the plan and even in the future of God, according to Romans 11. So, Israel is no small deal. However, Israel is not the point of God showing love to Israel. In other words, God's showing love to his people, to his created ethnic group, so that his love would be known all throughout the world. And this is the thing that God doesn't want us to forget, is that when God saves us, he's doing it for a reason. And his salvation of each one of us is supposed to have an impact on the world around us, even to the ends of the earth. When God saves a group, when God forms a church, it's not to be inwardly focused. It is to be outwardly focused. This is the kind of thing that, when you read Psalm 67 from a New Testament perspective, right? Because we kind of read the Bible backwards in some ways. We read it sort of, as the old saying goes, we read the Bible in the shadow of the cross. And when you hear the risen Christ saying, go make disciples of all nations, then you go back and read something like Psalm 67, and it's like, whoa, they were supposed to be seeing that all along. Sometimes they did, but usually not. And how often do you and I fall prey to the same thing? Our salvation is just about us, right? It's between me and God. It's, we emphasize the personal relationship, maybe at the expense of the public witness and things like that. So what he says here is, may God cause his face to shine upon us, so that your way may be known in all the earth. So he's referring back here to what we call the Aaronic blessing, the blessing of Aaron. And it's in Numbers 6, okay? Numbers 6, he says, see, this is why you should get hard copies instead of digital copies of stuff. Okay, here you go. Numbers 6, then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, thus you shall bless the sons of Israel. All right, so Aaron, the priest, say this to them. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Does this sound familiar? Sounds like Psalm 67, right? Yahweh lift up his countenance on you and give you peace, so they shall invoke my name on the sons of Israel, and then I will bless them. So this is a blessing given to the people of Israel through Aaron the high priest, specifically for the people of Israel. But now, this psalmist is taking that Aaronic blessing, he's referring to it, maybe not quoting it directly, but referring to it, and then saying, now this isn't just for Israel, we want this to go out throughout the whole world. And when God blesses us, he does so that the whole world might know him and fear him. Look at verse 7, the last verse. God blesses us that all the ends of the earth may fear him. And again in verse 1, so we've got this idea on the beginning and the end. God be gracious to us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known in all the earth, your salvation among all nations. That's Great Commission language. So here we go. From Psalm 67, okay, what we learn here is that the gospel, the blessing of God, eternal life, the favor of God, relationship with God, the gospel itself, that we are reunited to God, is extended to each one of us, to each of our churches, to ethnic Israel, when he is extending it to them through faith and so on. That's extended to us so that the Great Commission can get accomplished. So your eternal life is not just about your eternity. It is about the salvation of people on the ends of the earth with languages that we've never heard of and tribes that we can't pronounce. Your salvation is about the mission of God. Okay? There's a lot of, your salvation's about a lot of stuff. It is about you personally. It is about eternal life. It is about a personal relationship with God. But don't stop there. Psalm 67 is like, may God bless us, comma, so that we may bless the world with the knowledge of him. You see, it's really important to finish that sentence. So thank God for your salvation today. Thank God for the gospel and for it. Phone's ringing. And thank God for the gospel applying to you. And then go and follow through on his intended purpose in saving you, and tell somebody about Christ before you go home to be with him forever.